It is a beautiful, bright, sunny morning here in Winnipeg. And I know that the model table is underexposed, but that's so that the outside will be almost perfectly exposed. I wanted you to see how nice and, like I say, beautiful morning. Blue sky. It is cold though. My car out there at this moment, the frost on the roof is just melting. So it's pretty cold. I guess it went down below freezing last night. Anyway, I have some plans here. Let me recompose the camera and get the exposure correct. Just another quick sip here to keep my whistle wetted. And the plan is to try and paint some of these little details, like for instance the weather vane, the wind speed spin arounder, and I've got an idea here. You know these parts on the side here that we're trying to be so careful not to break off, the navigation lights. Well, my thinking is to paint them red and green, preferably on the correct sides. Like the red and green markers on ships. This might not be what they were, the color they were painted. They might have been some sort of a clear light. But on the other hand, maybe they were red or green. Who knows? Well, maybe some of you know. And if you actually know, comment. Okay, I'm hoping now that we are not going to need our number 66 or our number 22. This was the 66, this was the 22. Because if we do, it means that I sort of messed up with these other colors, and I've got to touch up. Now, what we want to do is, if we wanted to paint these things the appropriate color, red and green, the red will have to be on left side, and the green will have to be on the right side. Right now, this thing is going away from you. This is the front, and this would be the back. So, yeah, we'll try and paint these ones green. Well, why do I seem to always have to repeat everything I say about 6 times? Well, twice anyway. Let me just recompose here again. We'll move in, and maybe I should take these to the paint shaker and shake them up. Now I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that this is still mounted on its little block of wood, and I'll be able to use my rotator here to, keep the little parts in question in your field of view, and still rotate them around and get the angle more or less just right for myself. And when I'm using the macro lens. We're going to use the macro lens. Alright, I do believe I have this positioned in such a way that the little parts in question, no matter how I rotate this thing, are going to stay in the right place as I rotate it around. Yeah, I think that's going to work. My next concern is, do I need to fasten our part down here? Is it going to move on me when I try to paint? Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to tape this whole thing down. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I knew you're going to want to see what I did. I didn't use tape. I just put a little piece of blue tack underneath there. Yeah, that should hold it, I think. Okay, I do not have any paint on my brush here yet. Now, the right side of your ship is green. It has green markings, green lights. The left side is red. I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. I used to know a little saying. It was when you're passing somebody, let's see, how does that go? When you're coming head on and you want to pass somebody, there's a little saying, and it went something like, if you're red to red, go ahead. Now, on the other hand, was that saying, if you're red to red, you are dead? I'm not sure, but I think the first one is the way it goes. Now, what I was going to say is, you'll notice there appears to be flashing all around the outside of these lights. Okay? Now, I think that it's supposed to be like that. I do believe that it was made to be. Would this be this part that I'm touching right now on the front here? Would that be a lens that you would open up to change the light bulb? Anyway, I'm going to do my best to paint just this front part. I'm not going to. I originally thought I'd paint the whole globe, or whatever you want to call this thing, but I think that would be a mistake. I think that I'll just try and paint just the front. We'll see how it goes here. I wonder if we should put on the super macro. Nah, this is good enough. I'm just trying to pool it on there, if that makes any sense. That way I don't need to worry about a second coat. Huh? Alright, let's do the bottom one now. I think I got too much on the brush, but this one actually is working better. At least I think it is, as long as it doesn't wick its way around to the back. Okay. Now, that green doesn't really show up very much. Should have maybe used a lighter green. Well, let's, did I get some green on the back of that bottom one? Yeah, I think I kind of did. Well, I don't think anybody's going to notice. Okay, let's reposition and do the red. Okay, I realize that you can't see it, but that green just does not show up. It's just too dark. Let's see what's going to happen with the red here. Maybe I gotta get more on my brush. I apologize for the fact that sometimes you can hear me, swallowing or making sort of, you might say, guttural noises with my mouth here. Well, if you saw the way I'm positioned, you'd know why this is happening. Okay, let's turn it a little bit here. Try and get some more on my brush. Well, that's probably too much now. once again, you can see it way better than I can, so I have to go just a little bit closer to that, what looks like flashing. Starting to dry on my brush. I think that's the problem. So let me resample here. Okay. How's that look? Maybe just a little bit on the top here. You know, that boom that goes across the top. Oh, it's kind of in my way. Maybe if I kind of dab it on. I know I'm going to be getting comments from people saying, I use a toothpick. Well, good for you. Okay, this one I think went better. Give it. Looks a little bit sparse right there. Okay. Okay, let's just leave the red. I think the red is okay. But as for the green, which I can't show you right now, it's just too dark. It just doesn't contrast with the... Maybe I should be having just a little bit more right here. Okay, let's leave this. Oh my, I just looked in the monitor. You can see it a whole lot better than I could. I have mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again because I am sure that somebody's getting all ready to say, why don't you use the monitor when you're doing something like this? In other words, look in the monitor if you can see it so much better to watch what you're doing. Well, there's two reasons. First of all, sometimes it's backwards, depending on how the camera angle. In other words, I'll move the little paintbrush to the right, but in the monitor it kind of moves to the left. And there's a time lag. There's a very slight time lag from when I start to move the paintbrush till I actually see it move on the screen. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to throw you off a little bit. I guess I could practice and get used to it. After all, how do they do this surgery where the guy, where the doctor goes in and he looks with a little scope and, well, maybe he's had hours and hours of practice. I haven't. I find it just a little bit too difficult, but it's a good idea. Okay, I know I've said this a few times already. The red ones show up pretty good, but the green ones here, they just don't. It's the green is just too dark. It almost looks like the number 22 gray. So I think I'm going to mix up a little bit of lighter green using some white. I don't have any light green, so we're going to have to mix up our own here. Now, my plan was to use this little white cap here as a mixing container, but, we really don't need that much. So try and make something up here. Thank goodness I can cut out all the tomfoolery here where I was trying to get this piece off. And we'll take our little pipette thingy here, and that should make a little mixing container for us. I don't think that's going to fall off of there. Well, I don't know how this is going to go here. I am only going to do this the one time, so I'm hoping that it's going to work out okay the first time. I'm looking in my monitor right now, and that display is pretty hard to see. Okay, so we got 3.129 grams. That's the total weight there. We're gonna put it down to 0 here. Now let's just I'm just weighing this just for fun. I just want to see how much does a drop weigh. We should be able to tell here. We got a fairly clean pipette. Okay, 1 drop is 18 thousandths of a gram. Let's give it 2. Yeah, 36. All right. Now I'm probably going to want it fairly light. I'm going to rinse this off right away so I can reuse my pipette later. Okay. I'll put the lid back on before we have an accident. Okay, now the white hasn't been open for a while. It's a little bit on the tight side there. Okay, so now we're going to tare this again, go back to 0. And where's my pipette? There we go. Let's give it 3 whites. Make it really light. 1. The white is thinner. 2. 3. Okay. I don't think we're going to need any more than that, but I'll just mix it up right now. Maybe I should mix it off of this off of our scale here. I don't want to damage this extremely sensitive little sensor, so I'm just going to recompose here. Okay, that looks about right to me, and I'm going to have to quickly reset up here because I don't want the paint in this little container to dry out on me. Okay, the monitor looks all right. And I am only going to get one chance at this. I'm going to make sure this time that I'm not blocking with the boom. Okay. Oh yeah, you can see that a lot better. Yeah, that shows up a lot better. I get just a little bit on the top. Okay, let me check the monitor. It appears that it needs a little bit on the underneath. I'm just going to sort of pool it on there. Yeah, that looks better. All right, now let's get some on the bottom one here. I think I went a little bit too far around the back. That top one doesn't look like it's completely covered. Let me just get a little bit. Get some fresh stuff here. There, that looks better. At least it looks better to me. Yeah, that is better. Okay. What about right here? Okay, let's quit. Let's quit while the quitting's good. Yeah. Okay. So now you can see why it is that I have to watch the way I speak. The microphone is right there. Well, once again, time has got away on me. I didn't know we were going to be busy mixing paints here. I had thought that we'd be able to work on our little weather sending devices here. The weather vane and what's that, an anemometer or something? I can't say that word. Anyway, I guess that's going to have to be tomorrow. But at least the green shows up a little better. I guess it would show up better if I were to swing it around so you could see it. Okay, I think that's it for today, folks. So all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. And I think I'm probably going to paint this black and this one as well, or not jet black, but the NATO black. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.